Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to Star Scandal Spotlight. Tonight, we're diving into something that has the entire fandom buzzing, and trust us, you won't want to miss this. A single photo has taken the internet by storm. Just the two of them? That's right. An intimate dinner shot of Woo-seok and Hye-yoon has leaked, and it's sparking serious dating rumors. What really happened that night? Was it just a friendly meal? Or is this the clearest hint yet of something more? Stay with us. The full story starts right now. It began with a whisper, and ended with a flash. On an otherwise quiet evening in Seoul, a single photo made its way onto the internet, and within minutes, it exploded across social media like wildfire. There they were, Woo-seok and Kim Hye-yoon, seated side by side at a dimly lit restaurant, leaning in just a little too close. The soft flicker of a candle casting warm shadows over their faces. There was no manager, no staff, no entourage, just the two of them. The photo, posted anonymously on a fan community forum, was captioned with 6 electrifying words: "They thought no one was watching." Within hours, hashtags like #WooYoon and #Caught were trending in both Korea and internationally. Fans were stunned, but not surprised. For weeks, eagle-eyed netizens had noticed subtle gestures between the two stars during interviews, award shows, and even backstage moments, but this was different. This was private. According to restaurant staff, Woo-seok had arrived first, wearing a low cap, his tall frame unmistakable despite the effort to stay discreet. 15 minutes later, Hye-yoon walked in, dressed down in casual jeans and a hoodie, barely recognizable unless you looked closely. The two greeted each other with what one witness described as a silent familiarity. Not the awkward energy of colleagues, but the easy flow of people who've shared unspoken moments. They sat at a small, tucked-away table in the back, far from the windows. No menus were needed. Woo-seok ordered for both of them. And then, for nearly 2 hours, they talked. No phones. No interruptions. Just conversation and laughter. Lots of it. A waiter, clearly shaken by the attention, later confessed, "It felt like we were intruding on something real." They weren't acting. Just minutes after the photo went viral, both agencies issued suspiciously vague statements. Woo-seok's agency claimed it was a casual dinner between colleagues catching up, while Hye-yoon's side said they respect her private life. Notably, neither side denied the photo was real, and more importantly, neither outright denied the possibility of something more. And then, silence. The couple, who had recently wrapped up a hit drama together, had already won hearts for their electric on-screen chemistry. But off-screen, they had always insisted they were just friends. That narrative, however, began to crumble the moment fans began analyzing body language, eye contact, and behind-the-scenes footage from past interviews. Suddenly, every stolen glance looked loaded, every playful smile seemed like a secret shared. Could it all have been real from the beginning? One particularly heart-stopping detail came from a stylist who had worked closely with the duo during promotions. In a now-deleted post, she hinted, "Sometimes love doesn't wait for the cameras to stop rolling. Sometimes it starts right there." Late last night, another fan claimed to have spotted Woo-seok dropping Hye-yoon off at her apartment, lingering by her door for nearly 5 minutes before quietly driving away. No paparazzi, no fuss. Just one man, saying goodnight a little too slowly. The internet went into meltdown again. Speculation reached a fever pitch. Were they dating? Were they afraid to go public? Or, perhaps most shocking of all, were they already in a relationship? This was their first misstep in a carefully kept secret. As fans argue, analyze, and theorize, one thing remains clear. This isn't just a rumor anymore. It's a fire waiting to be confirmed, and no matter how much their agencies try to put it out, the embers are still glowing. Will Woo-seok and Hye-yoon come forward and address the head-on? Or will they retreat into silence, letting the public spin their own tale? Either way, the story is no longer theirs alone. It belongs to millions of fans, watching, waiting, hoping for confirmation of a love they've long suspected. It's been 72 hours since the now infamous dinner photo of Woo-seok and Kim Hye-yoon took the internet by storm, and yet, the silence from both stars remains deafening. No apology, no denial, no confirmation, just a wall of carefully constructed PR phrases and vague press releases. Sources close to the entertainment industry are now suggesting that something deeper may be unfolding, not just a casual dinner, but a situation that could spiral into one of the biggest celebrity reveals of the year. Why? Because Hye-yoon has suddenly vanished from public view. She was scheduled to appear at a brand photo shoot in Gangnam just a day after the photo leak. Fans waited, reporters gathered. She never showed up. Her agency cited health concerns, but didn't elaborate. Then, the same evening, Woo-seok cancelled a planned live stream with fans, citing unexpected personal reasons. Coincidence? Unlikely. What's even stranger is the sudden tightening of security around both stars' residences. Paparazzi who've been camped out near Hye-yoon's apartment for days reported new blackout curtains, no visible movement, and a complete media lockdown. One photographer even claimed to see a black car, probably Woo-seok's, arriving around midnight, only to leave 20 minutes later. What are they hiding? Or more importantly, who are they protecting? Last night, an alleged audio clip surfaced online, quickly deleted, but not before it was saved and shared among hundreds of fans. In the 9-second recording, a woman believed to be Hye-yoon can be heard saying softly, "I told you we can keep doing this. Not like this." A man's voice, low and unmistakably similar to Woo-seok's, replies, "Then let me protect you properly this time." Whether the clip is real or not, it shattered what was left of their privacy, and ignited a storm of speculation. Could they have been in a relationship all along, kept secret due to pressure from agencies or fear of public backlash? Could this photo leak have been their unintended soft launch, or worse, the beginning of a forced separation? Industry insiders have started whispering a word fans never wanted to hear: scandal. Months. Not everyone in the industry is happy. Rumors are swirling that Hye-yoon had quietly signed on for a major role with an A-list male lead, whose agency is now reconsidering the project due to image concerns. Meanwhile, Woo-seok, riding high on the success of his latest drama, is reportedly facing pressure from endorsement partners demanding clarity on his relationship status. And yet, through it all, neither of them has broken. No frantic social media posts, no passive-aggressive likes or cryptic captions. Just quiet. A quiet that feels heavier with each passing hour. A quiet that has fans both worried and wildly hopeful. Because what if this silence isn't fear, but defiance? What if Woo-seok and Hye-yoon are standing firm, choosing not to explain, not to apologize, not to perform? What if this isn't the end of a love story, but the beginning of one finally lived out loud? As the world waits, one thing is certain. This is no longer about a leaked dinner photo. It's about two people at the center of a media hurricane, trying to protect something real in an industry built on illusion. Maybe, just maybe, this time, love might win. That followed the scandal, time seemed to slow. Every social media post, every shadow behind the curtain, focused paparazzi photo was dissected like a clue in an unsolvable mystery. The world wanted answers, but Woo-seok and Hye-yoon gave none. And in that silence, a new kind of story began to unfold. Not a scandal, not a betrayal, but something deeper. Something human. It was a rainy Thursday evening in Seoul when everything changed. The drizzle coated the city like a soft veil, the noise but not the tension. Fans had nearly given up on hearing from them, until suddenly, without warning, a post appeared. Not from a news outlet, not from a fan page. From Woo-seok himself. Just one photo. No filters, no edits, no branding. It showed Woo-seok and Hye-yoon standing side by side on the rooftop, the city behind them glowing like distant stars. They weren't holding hands, they weren't kissing, but they didn't need to, because in that image, they were together. Calm. Real. Undeniable. And below the photo, a single caption: "We didn't expect it to happen this way, but we won't pretend anymore." The internet erupted. Within minutes, Hye-yoon's account posted the same photo. Her caption was shorter, no less powerful: Love isn't a scandal, thank you for letting us breathe. And with that, everything shifted. No more vague denials, no more cryptic silences, no elaborate PR stunts or staged apologies. Truth, raw and unfiltered. Two young stars, choosing to step out from behind the curtain and into the light, fully aware of what they were risking: sponsorships, roles, image, safety, even admiration. Maybe they were done performing. Maybe for once, they wanted something for themselves. Of course, not everyone was supportive. There were angry posts, fan clubs disbanded, anonymous users swore they felt betrayed. One agency insider reportedly said, they just threw their careers away for a feeling. Outside the noise, something more powerful was happening. Something softer. Fans began resharing old clips, behind-the-scenes moments, where Woo-seok gently moved Hye-yoon's hair out of her eyes, or where she looked at him just a second too long. Entire threads were created titled, "We Knew Before They Did," and in a matter of hours, their story was no longer about a leaked dinner photo. It was about something universal, the quiet courage it takes to love out loud. In an exclusive interview a week later, Woo-seok finally spoke. Not on a variety show, not at a press conference. He sat down with a small indie outlet known for honest storytelling. No makeup, no stylist. Just himself. "We didn't plan for it to go public like that," he admitted. "That dinner, it wasn't meant to be a secret. It wasn't meant to be a headline either." When asked why he didn't deny the rumors, answer was simple: because it wasn't a rumor. He paused, then smiled, not the polished smile of an actor selling a product, but the quiet, relieved smile of a man who had finally stopped hiding. "She means a lot to me, more than I can explain in interviews." Across the city, Hye-yoon remained silent. Those who knew her said she seemed lighter, happier. An actor who had recently worked with her said, "It's like she's finally breathing with both lungs." Maybe that's the heart of it all. Maybe it was never about whether they were caught. Maybe it was always about whether the world would let them be real, not as characters, not as brands, but as people. Weeks passed, the media moved on, chasing fresher drama, newer gossip, but the photo remained, now framed in digital history as one of the most iconic celebrity confessions of the decade. Fans no longer asked, "Are they dating?" Asked, "How are they doing today?" They stopped demanding content and started sending handwritten letters. Some wrote, "Thank you for showing us that love isn't weakness." Simply said, "Be happy. That's all that matters." And slowly, beautifully, Woo-seok and Hye-yoon began to reappear, not as idols caught in a scandal, but as two artists who had survived a media firestorm. Together, they walked red carpets side by side, longer ducking the cameras. They smiled in interviews, no longer fearing loaded questions. And sometimes, just sometimes, they held hands in front of everyone, not for a show, but because